Cambridge Companions to Philosophy, Religion, and Culture. In this brief video, we'll demonstrate how to search the Cambridge Companions to Philosophy, Religion, and Culture. Starting on the library's homepage, library.estrellamountain.edu, you will find the link to this database under the Find Articles, Books, eBooks, Videos, and More page located on the left-hand side of the library homepage. Once on this page, scroll down to Philosophy and Religion and select Cambridge Companions to Philosophy, Religion, and Culture. When on campus, everything will authenticate. From home, sign in with your MEID and password. Cambridge Companions to Philosophy, Religion, and Culture is a special database that focuses on small collections of essays and reference works that are intended for a interdisciplinary audience of students and non-specialists on the topics of philosophy and religion. So this type of database is very subject specific and not a general reference database. The bulk of our subscription is for digital books, so it's good for looking for book resources, but not so much for journal access. Majority of everything that we have subscription um, content is for book resources. So the landing page for this database is going to be for books. Now, as I scroll through, you're going to see that for the landing page, they're going to have examples of forthcoming books, and you're also going to notice an expected online date of publication for access. So just be aware of that. And then also there's some content that's open access. You'll see that as well. Now, for searching purposes, you're going to see that the default of only show content I have access to is selected. This will ensure that you'll get full text access. You're going to also see that you have the ability to also just select open access content, but that open access content is also included within that show content I have access to. So you'll also see by content type, if you wanted to search for entire books or book chapters, it's probably best, because most of these books are more like reference type books, to leave this area open. You'll see publication date. If you're doing something that's more of a historical nature, you shouldn't worry too much about currency of material. You'll also see the subjects are really very much geared and focused on philosophy, history, area studies, religion, etc. So not so much on things like mathematics, not so many publications. The tags are supposed to work like keywords, but you'll see once we do a search that that might not necessarily be necessary to use, and then specific collections within this database. So let's just go ahead and search within the content that we actually have access to. Although you could use the search books box here, we're going to go ahead and search within our refined listings to ensure that we're just focusing on content that we have access to. Now let's say I was writing on something a little bit more obscure, like eschatology, okay? So through those 9,000 resources, I'm only finding 15 items that are coming up from our books that we have access to. And in those 15 items, you're going to see that under content type, that comes up with 14 book chapters and one book that's very much focused on this topic, right? So this is kind of important to be aware, because since this is more of like a reference book database, you're probably going to find that although these are book chapters, they're going to be very much specific to whatever your topic is that you're searching, provided that you've used a keyword that encompasses the main topic, right? Like a particular study or a particular philosopher. And we'll do a second search so you can see. When I find a title of interest, I can select it, and you're going to see on the landing page for this particular book chapter, what are we looking at? So at the tippy top, we're going to see the print publication year. This is actually the title of the chapter, and it looks like it's probably from a multi-volume reference work because it's telling me it's from part 1 of Doctrine and Tradition. You're going to see the name of your author, followed by the editors, your publisher, your DOI, and then the page numbers for this particular book chapter. Now, you would think as you scroll down that you would see the full text of the book chapter, but instead you're going to get a summary. To see the full text, you're going to have to select Download PDF, and then the PDF of the chapter will be displayed. All right, so just as if it was in the physical reference book, you'll see the book chapter, right? All the way through, and you can see the full text, including its references and then suggestions for further readings. You also have the ability to send this book chapter to your Kindle, your Google Drive, and your Dropbox. To view the reference citation, you're going to select Export Citation, and it looks like the default is going to be, this is going to be MLA. To change the format, you can select, let's say, APA. So it'll also specify an edition, and looks like also, because this is an international database, different countries. You're going to also see that you can copy this citation to your clipboard or download it in text or Word. So let's go ahead and do another search. Let's go back. And this time, we're going to go ahead and do our search where instead of looking at books, we're going to look at all content, including open access journals. So to do that search, we're going to not use our refined listings or search for books, but at the very top it says search all journals and book content, right? So we're going to go ahead and let's do a search for Plato. So 4,000 plus results where I use Plato as a keyword. Notice that if I select only show content I have access to, let's look what happens. So those 4,000 results turn into 184 results. In this case too, I might decide, you know what, I really want to look at a journal article. I can select journal article. So let's find something that looks interesting. Um, Plato on the enslavement of reason. I'll select this article. When we get to the records page for an article, you're going to notice all the wonderful identifiable information for this article. So the volume number, the issue number, the date of publication, the page numbers, the title of the article, the author, the DOI, and then it looks like this particular journal is the Canadian Journal of Philosophy, and I get my abstract. When I select View HTML, look what happens. I get my abstract and the full text of this particular article. Now, if I wanted to view it in the format that the physical journal would have been displayed, I could select on Download PDF, and I would see the full text for this article. I can also add it to my Kindle, my Google Drive, or my Dropbox. I can also export my citation, and here I can see my reference citation, and I can change my reference citation too also. And again, copy to clipboard or download text or Word. If you have questions about this database or any of the library's databases, come and see us in Estrella Hall. Happy searching!